Just for the record, can we get you to say it's spelled your first last name?
Barbara, Listing, Listing.
Common spelling of Barbara.
That's correct.
And where are you from?
I live in a little town called Shepherd.
Okay.
Maple Syrup Festival, right?
So what is this petition about?
Well, the petition simply says that taxpayers will not have to use taxpayer money, their money, in order to provide for abortion. And this is simply an extension of the policy that we've had for a long time here in Michigan, starting with Medicaid funding, and this extends this into the whole area of health insurance, which of course is required because of Obamacare, which will go into effect shortly.
So all private health insurance plans would not be able to cover abortion unless there's a rider?
People can, of course, still have a rider.
Right, but a basic plan.
Purchase a basic
Don't talk
plan.
over her.
A basic plan would not include abortion coverage. Instead, people that are in favor of abortion would have to purchase that insurance.
Why was it so important to you to do this?
Well, I think it's simply an extension of what we've always done in the past, starting with the Medicaid funding of abortions. And so this is simply good public policy that people do not want to pay for other people's abortions. 21, we would be the 22nd, and I think probably there are others that will also be included. This is allowed under the Obamacare because of a Democratic senator, Ben Nelson from Nebraska, included that in that whole package for the Affordable Care Act.
Now, critics would say that this would make people have to plan for an abortion, even in bad circumstances.
Well, I think people plan when they buy insurance. They plan for the possibilities, no matter what kind of insurance it is, and that we have an opportunity when we buy insurance to buy riders for a variety of things.
I'm sorry, is this just for taxpayer funded? I mean, what if I'm just a private person purchasing insurance from Blue Cross Blue Shield?
Yes, you would have to purchase a rider if you wished coverage for abortion. Because right now, the private insurance companies, all insurance companies, really included, most of them, I think almost all of them, included in their policies. And I would guess that most people don't realize that. Right to Life in Michigan for the past 40 years has had to exclude it from their insurance. We had to specifically ask for that as an exclusion.
Why not let the insurance companies make that decision with their customers and the businesses?
Well, businesses, of course, can do that. If they, and anyone that negotiates for their employees for insurance, they can also add it. Right, as I said, right now we have to exclude it. And so this is simply right now, we all as individuals, when we purchase insurance, we're purchasing for others abortion coverage.
Would you rather have the legislature do this?
Well, the legislature this is part of the legislature doing this because what the people will be doing is initiating the legislation. It comes back as a bill. It's like they're introducing a piece of legislation that comes back to the legislature for them to have an opportunity to vote on it, which they already have done.
Well, the legislature did do this.
Yes, they
you
did
actually, so this has already passed the legislature
correct.
once.
But now it would have to come back to the legislature for another vote.
You have a problem with someone's veto pen.
That's correct. We have a difference of policy on this.
As far as planning, I understand people plan to be sexually active, but nobody plans to be raped. So why should they not have the ability to have that covered?
Simply like nobody plans to have an accident, in a car accident. Nobody plans to have their homes flooded, and you have to buy extra insurance for those things too.
I guess I'm confused about the taxpayer moniker. I mean, if it's a transaction between a private employer and a person, where's the taxpayer money?
The real difference comes with the fact that now we will, starting in 2014, we will have the federal health insurance, and abortions will be subsidized by the taxpayers in that. If you are a family of I think it's up to 4, or if you have a family of 4 and you have an income of somewhere around $92,000, then you will be able to have your health insurance subsidized by our taxpayers.
But that's for if you're purchasing it privately. I mean, if it's just you and your employer, I don't understand where the taxpayer money comes in.
Well, the employer, when that's for what we anticipate may happen, just like with HHS mandates right now, that abortion may end up, according to the federal government, as simply another type of medical care. And so this is thinking ahead.
But is there any, in the current transaction between employee and employer, no taxpayer money, am I correct?
Well, individuals, you are a taxpayer, just like I'm a taxpayer, and the premiums you pay into a pool. And so as a result, even though you may not realize it, you are subsidizing others' abortions. But if an employer wishes for his employees to have abortion coverage, then they can simply buy that.
So because health insurance payments are tax exempt, that means there's taxpayer support of abortions?
When you said taxpayers, did you mean to say everyone?
Well, everyone that is paying taxes, which...
Okay, then you did mean to say taxpayers.
Yes.
And if this does not get through the legislature and signed by the governor, you're prepared to go out and get petition signatures?
Doesn't get signed by the governor.
It does not have to be
Okay.
signed. This is a petition, now you get the signatures to this.
Right.
Then it goes to the
Right.
Is this constitutional amendment or
No, no.
This is just a
It's
statute?
a legislation.
Okay.
Will you be paying for...
When you start collecting signatures, would you?
Well, legally, as soon as they approve the petition form, then we can call the printer and ask them to begin printing, and then we will go through training, and so we would shortly begin. Although we're still hopeful that the governor may decide that he would still like to have the legislation passed through the regular channels.
Will you be paying
When do you
petition
anticipate? Oh, go
Will
ahead.
you be paying petition gatherers?
No. You know, we've done this, this would be our 4th time of doing this, and we use volunteers so we can pay for it. I think we're probably the only organization.
How long, you talked about getting them printed, training, getting people in the field. How long do you anticipate it'll be until you have people actually out collecting signatures?
Well, I would guess at our first training session that there will be people signing petitions. So the beginning of June.
And Barbara, your role in this campaign?
I'm the president of Right Life of Michigan.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
I don't know if